So this is reverse market mechanics in a nutshell. We reverse the variables in the equation. So instead of the volume being fixed and the price being mutable, we reverse it. The volume becomes mutable and the price becomes fixed. So that is the basis, that is the genesis of a regenerative economy. So before we move on, I want to say, I understand this might be a lot to take in at the moment. And please feel free to stop, reflect, meditate, reflect on all of this. I'm giving this to you, okay? I hope that you'll want to work with me after considering some of this knowledge, but you can take this and make it completely your own. I hope you'll want to work with me, but I'm giving this to you. You can do whatever you want with this knowledge. So in the version of the regenerative economy that I am proposing, an equal partnership economy, this is the foundation of how we start to create that regenerative economy from within the extractive economy. So volume is mutable. So again, that's reversed. Before it was fixed. Price is fixed. And remember, in the extractive economy, it's mutable based on competitive factors to make up market share. In our version, our volume is mutable based on the cumulative time invested in the time bank. So, instead of a set amount of shares that are being offered, so let's say there's 1 billion shares offered through Microsoft or Facebook or whatnot, our volume expands with every hour dedicated to the time bank. So you make a difference. You personally, have a hand in doubling our efforts. Every single individual does. Because every time you spend an hour in our time bank, you create a new share of stock, so to speak. The price is fixed. And right now we fix it at $1.25 entry point within our revenue sharing program. So that makes it very, very affordable. And even in cases of extreme poverty or even $1.25 investment in yourself and in your partners and in your fellowships is not feasible per hour. We will be sharing ways to raise that capital, to raise, those small, minuscule amounts, within our time bank through this certification program. So we don't, if you have a sincere desire to, play a role in making this world a better place, money will never stop you. Money will never stop you. And everybody has the same ability to earn that compounded interest, that $2 that turns into $4, that $4 that turns into $8, $8 that turns into 16. Take that to the 20th power. That's over $1 million in liquid capital. So it's here. It's here for us. I don't know the legalities of it yet. I'm open to learning the legalities of it. But a friend of mine said she's a little bit afraid to share this information because there's no history, there's no precedent to it. And I kind of hesitated, but I had to say, well, that's because as far as I know, no one's really attempted this before. I think if it were, if there were an honest attempt in establishing something like this, we'd already be living in a different world right now. So that's, that's how we reverse the equation to create a regenerative economy, and really the challenge is not so much in strategy. The challenge is developing the deeper trust where we can openly talk about this, and we find out why, we can find out what's ethical and what's legal, and how to bring a deeper sense of ethics to our legal system. So market share is an economy comprised out of a $68 trillion hours a year. So there's 7.8 billion people in the world. All of them, have 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. Every person in this in this world is currently being exploited, especially our children. Um, so we change our mindset. We change how we perceive the economy. Instead of how much money is available in the world, how much time is really available. So if we can each, as an individual, exponentially change the value of our time per hour, we're looking at creating a regenerative economy in less than 10 years, because there's that $68 trillion hours a year. If everybody is participating in a system that helps them raise the value of their hours, we only have a $277 trillion debt. That's it. $277 trillion to overcome by changing our relationships. And call me crazy, but I believe that's going to lower the demand for conflict. That's going to lower the demand for war, lower the demand for contriving poverty, and we're going to solve more problems. If you're concerned about global warming, if you're concerned about renewable energy, if you're concerned about any of these things, this is the environment where we can productively work on those problems together. So here we go. Simplified. Here's the differences. The regenerative economy, the volume is mutable. So it expands based on the time that we invest in each other. The extractive economy, the volume is fixed. So there's only a certain amount of equity. There's only a certain amount of ownership you can invest in a company, but you're not going to take over the company because the leadership is fixed. Price. The price is fixed in a regenerative economy. It's $1 and $25 an hour to get into a revenue sharing time bank. So that was designed because I was in poverty myself. I was homeless myself, and everybody has value, and everybody has the ability to enter into a regenerative economy. In the extractive economy, the price is mutable based on competitive variables, which rewards dishonesty, which rewards competitiveness, which rewards insider trading, which they like to pretend does not exist, but it absolutely does, and it's how the system thrives. So media manipulation, keeping people at odds with each other, distrustful at each other. This is what makes the price mutable based on those competitive factors. Market share is based on an economy comprised of 68 trillion hours a year. So that's how we measure how our regenerative economy is expanding. Not so much, even though it will be accruing monetary value out of the extractive economy, we measure it by the amount of time spent. Because someone can invest a lot of time and not be able to necessarily invest in the monetary investment yet. But there's opportunities to retroactively invest in the time bank based on solely on your time that you've already invested in it. So so we measure it by time. In the extractive economy, it's measured by the debt, measured completely by the debt. We'd like to think of it as terms of how much monetary value our world is worth. It's really measured by debt, and that is a real psychological mind job. Because based on my research, and when I say this, I'm willing to be educated further on it. But based on my research, as far as physical capital, as far as physical resources or assets, there's only 60 to 80 trillion dollars worth of capital assets available in our world. But yet there's a $277 trillion debt. We're not getting out of this psychological slavery unless we change the rules. This is really advanced stuff here, and we'll go into this deeper if you would like to be a part of our certification program. But we're going to measure trend analysis based on something we call velocity rate, which is how quickly it takes our market to double. And it's based on collaboration. So I'm just saying this to plant a seed right now to communicate to you that there's been a lot of thought and a lot of planning put into this. So this is how we measure trend analysis in a regenerative economy. The trend analysis in an extractive economy is based on supply and demand, based on competitive factors, and it's based completely on competitiveness, where the regenerative economy is based on collaboration, cooperation. That's a lot. I threw a lot at you. So I'm going to back off a little bit, and I'm just going to give you some of the details about what this certification program will entail. If you are interested in pursuing this further, pursuing this conversation further, if any of this information resonates at all, any of it, there's 2 different programs that you can take, either one before the other or both at the same time. So that's our fellowship facilitator program and the time bank broker program. So in the fellowship facilitator program, you will have 10 hours of group study with a fellowship, which will be comprised of about 5 people or less. You'll be able to have 10 hours of independent study. So this is where you start to develop your own vision, your own idea for a fellowship, how you would like to organize your fellowship around what ideas, what talents you have, or what deep dive conversations you would like to facilitate. You'll obviously participate in a fellowship, and you will be facilitating a fellowship. So that's part of the requirements of the certification, is that you end up facilitating a fellowship. You'll design your own course. So part of the curriculum is tuning into your talents and your interests and your passion, and you're going to be able to design your own fellowship course around whatever it is that you want, whatever you're passionate about. We record all of this, and you have rights to it, to share it, to help others understand what your fellowship is about by sharing the video content that we produce together. And you become an owner member of the time bank. So you would be eligible to receive a portion of the revenue sharing program based on the hours that you spend in our time bank. So the time bank broker program, which is different. So it's something you can take at the same time as the fellowship facilitator program, or you can take one before the other. But again, there's 10 hours of group study where we do deep dives and deep conversations, and we start to role model and create experiences around the idea of a time bank, around the idea of reverse market mechanics and the regenerative economy. Again, there's 10 hours of independent study as well too, where you will accrue hours within the time bank through your independent study. Ethically, the group study, if that's something that we put a price on and that we charge for the certification program, the group study would not be eligible for time bank hours, but the independent study would be. There's a comprehensive curriculum about time banking and our version of a hybrid time bank, which features reverse market mechanics. And you got a little bit of a taste about the philosophy of reverse market mechanics today. My mission in creating this presentation is not to not to overwhelm you too much, although I might have overwhelmed you, but just to plant a seed that there is a very logical, very sound foundation in creating a regenerative economy based on reverse market mechanics. It's already being done through the extractive economy, through conventional money market mechanics. We're just implementing time, the element of time, to change the rules. And I look forward to having those deep dive ethical and legal discussions about what we can or can't do. But I believe if we're functioning ethically, if we are observing proper ethics, there's nothing we can't do. There's nothing we can't accomplish. Again, video content rights. If anybody is still struggling with wrapping their minds around this, within the 10 hours of group studies, within the 10 hours of independent study, you will have rights to all the video content that we create together that you can analyze, that you can share with others to help yourself and to help others understand, what is this really about? What is this time bank? What is reverse market mechanics? How do I get involved? How do I experience it? What don't I understand yet? What am I still trying to understand? So the video content rights, having the ability to share that and do what you want with them will really help in the process of understanding, of grokking, what we're putting out there. And not only will you be an owner member of the time bank, if you complete the entire certification course, you will be an administrator. I have rights to appoint administrators of the time bank, and if that's something you're interested in, that is something that will be achievable at the end of the program. So here we go with the guarantees. So I'm working with my former mentor, and when I say that, I'm really doing a deep dive into her materials and to her work about how to really guarantee results. And I say this with a little trepidation because I have not done this, but I do believe when we come together and have authentic, honest conversations, I will be able to guarantee these things. So I'm approaching this last part with a little trepidation and, asking for a little guidance as well too, because this is what I want to guarantee. This is what I'm proposing. But if you complete the 40 hours of both programs of group study and the 40 hours of independent study, I will guarantee that you will have a 7-figure return on your investment of your time within 2 years. So that's big. That's big. That's a minimum of $1 million within 2 years by participating in this program. I'm going to let that sit for a moment because I'm a little nervous, and yeah, I want to have that conversation. So I might want to back out of that, but I want to put that out there, and I want to have honest conversations about that. I want to be able to say that by the end of your time with us, with this certification program, that you'll be able to earn 6 figures annually as a facilitator broker. So I have not done that yet. But again, I do believe if we come together and we're honest with each other and we explore the legalities of it, that'll be a reality for everybody. Like I said, to me, it's very easy to change the economic system. The challenge is getting over our personal impediments to communicating honestly. So I'm guaranteeing that you'll be able to implement what you're already doing and what you are passionate about into time bank brokering, into facilitation, fellowship facilitation. So, bring your passion, bring what you know, bring your knowledge, bring your skepticism, bring it all. You'll be able to implement it with this financial plan, with the emergence of the bank. You will have a supportive team. So we're going to spend 40 hours together and 40 hours with your own independent study, exploring what we're creating together. You'll have a supportive team. I guarantee that if you show up and you show up each time, you're going to have a team at your back. And that's what fellowship is all about. Again, the independent study hours are redeemable. So when I say that you'll be able to make a 7-figure return on your investment in 2 years, I can say that because if you do the 20 hours of independent study, you've already done the work. You've already put the time in, to underwrite, to make that a reality, to generate that kind of capital. I know that's a big statement. I know that's probably mind-blowing at the moment. But the deeper we go into this material, the deeper it really does become easier. And I'm saying that from a perspective of, I love talking about this. I love exploring this. I haven't done it yet. And I want that to be clear. I have not done any of this. So anything I'm guaranteeing, I have not done personally myself. But I have faith in you. I have faith in your ability, to be honest with yourself, to be honest with others. And that's why these guarantees are possible. So that being said, at the end of the 20 hours of of the fellowship at the end of the 20 hours of the training. If it's 40 hours, if you decide to take both of them at the end of the 40 hours, I will ask every single person in that fellowship, do you feel like that these guarantees are not plausible? They're not possible. If anybody says no, I don't believe it's possible, give me your money back. So yeah, that's what I'm proposing. That's what I'm putting out there, and I'd love to hear your feedback about that. So brings us to our last slide. What happens next? So if anything that I talked about today strikes a chord and you want to explore it further and you have questions, I love it that people have questions. Here's the next step you can take. Email me at admin@karmicmargincall.com. Enter questionnaire in the subject line. So type in questionnaire. If you want to write me an email, great, that's fine. But if you just write questionnaire in the subject line, I know that you're interested in pursuing this program, this certification program. I will send you a 15 sets of open-ended questions to deepen the conversation. And all the time that you invest in doing that are also redeemable hours within the time bank. So what we do is we take a lot of the questions that I asked at the beginning of this presentation and just make them more open-ended and do a deeper dive into your role in interrupting competitiveness, your role in interrupting divisiveness, and your role in interrupting the extractive economy. So, it's not a right or wrong test. It's just a questionnaire to help deepen the conversation and explore how open you are in exploring this material. Once you complete the questionnaire and send it back to me, I will give you a program quote of how much it is, the price on taking the 20-hour or the 40-hour certification program, whatever you choose. There will also be monthly payment plans as well. And when I say all this, I want you to know that I have set the price based on what I feel like I would have afforded in my darkest hours. I have been homeless. I have been bankrupt. I have been in a place where I have struggled a lot. So I set the price for this certification program, considering all of that. So I will share that with you after completing the questionnaire. If you want to do more, if you feel like you want to take action some more, go to karmicmargincall.com and feel free to review the 5-year plan presentation. I re-record that every month. So the one that's up on karmicmargincall.com right now, that's the one from February of this year. I'm sorry, no, it's January. I'll be doing another one in 2 weeks here in February. But that really kind of gives you the overview of the Karmic Margin Call project, the virtual services time bank. There's a lot more information about fellowship facilitation there. So, please feel free to check that out, and you'll get to know me a little bit more, and you'll get to know more about this initiative. And if you feel compelled, you can join the time bank at any time. Karmicmargincall.com. Click here for an application. We ask for 2 references. As long as the references check out and they say positive things, I can say that no one has been turned down yet. And you can explore what it's like to be a part of our time bank. All right, and that's it. This was the presentation today for the Virtual Services Time Bank Brokerage and for the Fellowship Facilitator Program. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll be re-recording this again in a month. Please feel free to ask me any questions, provide any feedback. Positive feedback is always welcome and enjoyed. Negative feedback is ignored. But please feel free to reach out to me. I take that feedback and it helps me to create a more informed program. So It is now 7:15, so that took about an hour and 20 minutes. So thank you for joining me for this time. Again, I said this at the top of the hour, and I'll say it again. All of the time that you have spent watching this, pausing it, reflecting on it, it's all redeemable time in our time bank as you providing a service. So as you become more familiarized with what we're doing, what the regenerative economy is all about, you know that no time is ever wasted. So the time you are spending here is time that is eligible to earn that compounded interest, that liquid capital for your efforts. Okay, so you're investing in yourself, you're investing in me, you're investing in our fellowships, and you're investing in good people. So thank you very much. This is Michael Schuman, administrator of the Karmic Margin Call Project, signing off.